Welcome back to the Throned Out YouTube page. We're back with another video. Hope you're happy to be here. Today I'm wearing a mask because I'm feeling quite poorly. I'm a little bit unwell, so I thought I'd wear a mask in today's video, because we don't want to spread any diseases or any um, you know abnormalities. So it's good to keep everything safe. As you can see, I've got on my mask, not spreading any germs. So anyways, Beeple is the artist behind the 5,000 Everyday's artwork. This is the most expensive NFT to have ever been sold. Each individual image within this 5,000 images, is very, very interesting, represents something very deep and very symbolic and very relevant to modern society. So it's definitely worth checking out. If you haven't seen it before, go in the comment section, go to Beeple's website and have a look for yourself. I'm sure you'll be quite mind blown. But anyways, into today's video, the image we're going to be reacting to is titled Breath Control. This image is titled Breath Control. Now, this is more on the spiritual side. We've looked at a lot of Beeple images so far. Some of them are quite comical. Some of them feature, cartoon characters. Some of them are quite graphic. But so far, this is probably the most peaceful looking Beeple image that I've seen. There's nothing immediately harsh, or there's nothing controversial from the jump. It seems fairly normal. So what we're seeing is what looks like a region of dunes, a region of small mountains. And these mountains, they appear to be pinkish, kind of reddish. These mountains are situated above a lake, this lake beneath, and above all of it we have this massive circular structure, which looks a bit like an eyeball, and it looks a bit like a massive bubble. And we've got a smaller one on top of it, and then an even smaller one on top of it. If you squint your eyes, you might be able to see it. And then, of course, we've got the main character of this image, the hero of this image, who is just a typical standard-looking guy with a backpack, staring upon this massive circular structure and looking deeper into this whole reality of this image, these mountains and, all this pinkness. So what does this image mean? How can we interpret this image? Why is it relevant to modern society? So I think the first thing we need to look deeper upon is the name of this image, which is breath control. The name of this image is breath control, as in controlling your breathing. Now. I think me, as someone who's tried meditation in the past, I have tried meditation. I do practice it, I guess, now and again. This could perhaps be referring to the phases of meditation. So this bloke right here, this guy who stood up, let's say this is a man who decides to meditate. When he first closes his eyes, focuses upon his breath, tries to keep still, stays with his spine off of the wall. It's not meditation if you're resting your spine. That's what some people think. They say, hey, I might as well just go to sleep. It's the same as meditation, but it's really not. Because the whole difference between sleep and meditation is that when you're meditating, your spine is not supposed to be rested. You're supposed to, hold up the weight of your own spine. Whereas when you're sleeping, you're completely resting your spine as well as the rest of your body. So this is the main difference between meditation and sleeping, and that's what makes a difference on the impact that each of them can have. Sleep is good in its own way, and meditation is good in its own way, and they're both just as important as each other. Now, the first phase of meditation, when you first close your eyes and you just, kind of let yourself go into it, it will be a bit more rough, it will be a bit more harsh. It may even be quite intimidating, just like these red, pinky, rocky mountains. You know, they're kind of interesting, they're kind of intriguing. At the same time, they look quite dangerous. They look a bit volcano-ish, they look a bit eruptive, they look a bit hazardous, but they do look quite cool and interesting. That's kind of like when you first go into meditation, you first close your eyes. It is a bit back and forth, you know. And of course, you can see the little lake which is intermingled between the mountains and between the rocks. This little lake right here signifies, you know, the fluidity of meditation. When you meditate, you come to realize that you're more than just a physical entity. You're more than just a physical body in a world of material, physical things and hard work. You're more than that, you know, there's something fluid about you, there's something spiritual. So I think that's what this river intermingled between these rocks is trying to convey. And the first part represents the first part of meditation, which is a bit rocky, it's a bit shaky, it's kind of interesting and wavy, you know, and yeah, just the first part of meditation. Then I would go on to say the massive eye represents the second part of meditation. Once you've been meditating for a good while now, let's say 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, you're starting to really get into it. You're starting to feel more and more out of body and more spiritual, which is what happens once you meditate, you know. And what's quite funny is the word meditate sounds almost identical to the word medicate. So that, you know, that little word twist right there, that little trick would make people associate meditation, resting themselves, resting their minds, practicing mindfulness, them associate it with medication and taking, you know, drugs and intoxicants as a means of relaxing themselves. So that's a little gimmick right there to look out for. You know, medication is not the same as meditation. Meditation is not the same as medication. Meditation is its whole unique. Meditation is its whole unique thing. You know, meditation is just a word for it, but what it actually represents, what you're actually practicing, is much deeper than that particular word. You know, you're closing your eyes, all that energy which is coming up through your eyes, once you're closing your eyes, it's got nowhere to escape. It's rushing back and forth between your head, and eventually it's starting to go out of body. You know, I'm no guru, I'm no spiritualist, I'm no flipping wise man from the river Ganges of India, but you know, I have practiced my little bit of meditation, and more importantly, I've watched, you know, a couple videos of yogis and those who are more practiced in meditation talk about the effects and the impacts. Like I heard one guru say he spent so many of his younger years meditating that he reached a certain age where he didn't even have to meditate anymore. He reached a certain age where he said, life is my meditation. So yeah, the massive circular structure perhaps represents the second stage of meditation, where you start to see things from a higher perspective, you start to feel more spiritual, and the reason it's circular is because all things begin to feel more wholesome. You start to embrace everything, from your own life to your own identity to your own reality, as you go down this deeper into this spiritual and relevant journey. And meditation can help you in many ways. It can help reduce anxiety, reduce stress. It definitely will help you to reduce irrational thinking if that's something which you suffer from. Just, you know, your mind just blowing itself out of proportion sometimes, just going way too far, and you know, you not being able to tame it. Meditation will definitely help you. It will help you with your self-discipline, most definitely. It teaches you the art of restraint, the art of keeping your spine off of a wall. It teaches you how to focus on your own breath and focus on your own silence. You know, it teaches you to think about more than just your immediate surroundings and look deeper into yourself and what is the nature of your being. You know, we are incredible beings, we really are. And then obviously we have the small little circle above this massive circle, which could perhaps be alluding to perhaps the third stage of meditation, where you're even higher than the rest of it and everything feels a lot more concentrated. This circular structure, the second one, is a lot smaller than the first one, which is just above the mountains. Please try keep with me. I know I'm going a bit fast, but I think this second circular structure represents the third stage of meditation, where you're a lot higher and everything feels more concentrated. I've only meditated for more than an hour, maybe once or twice in my life, so I do know what that third stage feels like. I feel like you need about an hour or so of meditation to reach that third stage. And then to get even higher than that, I haven't even been there. I haven't even practiced it that much. But there's yogis in India, there's wise men, there's Buddhist monks. There's all sorts of people from all sorts of backgrounds, usually not the city, usually from some sort of natural resort, who have gone that deep into their meditation and reached what they call the state of nirvana, the state of complete peace and tranquility, mind, body, soul. And yeah, man, I personally have never reached that state of just perfect peace, because even though when you do obtain it from meditation, the world is so quick to, I guess, snatch that away from you, but nevertheless the benefits of meditation are still worthy. They're still worthy of, the challenge of meditation is worth it for the rewards that you get from it. It's an investment, just like anything else is an investment. So this is what I've got from this image titled breath control. And that's essentially what meditation is. It's breath control. And going through the different phases of meditation, which are all interrelated in one way or another. They're all part of the same experience. And this man is going through the stages of breath control, the stages of meditation, until he reaches his nirvana, this heavenly place where everything feels wholesome, everything feels perfect, and his perspective is truly and truly and truly purified. So that's it for today's video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a comment down below. Recently we've been getting more views, we've been getting more likes, so please keep it up. Make sure you smash the like button, turn on your notifications, and tune in next time for the next episode of Beeple Reactions.